All right, so I think all of you know me, but maybe if you don't, quickly, my name is Brianna Stevens Quintens. I'm the director of the Center for International Education here at Millikan. My office is right across from the library front desk in the UC. 122 is the room number. It's the room with all the flags. You can't miss it. We are operating both in person and remotely this year, so you can set up a meeting with us or Zoom, or you can come in. We have a large space so we can safely meet and talk about your options as far as study abroad and that whole planning process. So let's talk about COVID and study abroad in my notes here. Hopefully you guys can see this screen. I assume that you can.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. So what we're going to talk about in this first session really is what is happening right now as far as international education and the pandemic, and then what can you do given the situation. So what is happening? A lot is happening, right? What are some things that you guys have heard about maybe international or visa or travel bans or things like that regarding COVID or since the pandemic started?
So we know that a lot of countries are not allowing American tourists in because of the way that our country has handled the pandemic.
Totally, that's definitely something for sure. So we're getting a lot of information from all over the place all the time. So I kind of feel like we have all of this information, but no information, if that makes sense. So there's all of these things that we're seeing about travel bans and restrictions, visa requirements, embassy closures, political things happening, but what really is accurate information and what do you need to know about planning a study abroad journey? So travel restrictions being the first big one. And let me show you this screen. Can you guys see that there? It should be a map. And what this shows us is all the places that have restrictions for travel. And in a normal year, so just this time last year, this was all green. Oh, you can't see the map. Okay, let me figure it out here. I got this. Okay, map. It's a lot of red and pink happening here. And in a normal year, so pre-COVID, normal, whatever that is, this map was completely green for the most part. And these are the restrictions for US citizens entering into that country. And maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but US citizens have privilege whenever it comes to travel. Our magic blue passport gets us into a lot of places with very limited visa requirements. So right now, as you can see, that has taken a sharp turn, and the number of countries that are either heavily restricting or completely restricting travel, especially from US into their country, is it's very high right now. So there are a few green ones on there you can see. And you think, well, I'll go there, you know, like let's go there. Well, not only do we have to consider the restrictions that countries have for us traveling there, but the US has restrictions, so it's reciprocal. And let's see if I can show you guys. Say we wanted to go to Mexico. We would pull up the US State Department website, and hopefully you guys can see this again. And you can always check this website. It's always going to be accurate, up-to-date information, and it'll give you a list of travel advisories right here. Milliken's not going to send students to places that have travel warnings that are in this level 3 and 4 area that is reconsider travel or do not travel, because we're worried about your safety. And so as you can see, even though Mexico is green on our map here, it has a level 3 travel restriction right now from the State Department. So that means even as a Milliken student, you can't take university-sponsored travel there. Although US citizens can get in, it's not necessarily safe. So travel restrictions are a huge issue right now. In addition to travel restrictions, in every country that you are going to travel to, everywhere in the world, you're going to run into social distancing, limited availabilities for gathering, probably not a lot of immersive things happening in the country that you want to travel. And in order to be successful in study abroad, in an in-person study abroad type of situation, you have to be able to immerse yourself in that culture. You need to be able to talk to people and practice the language. You need to be able to find your way to you know, the local store, or maybe to the pharmacy or something like that. And all of these things are going to be incredibly hard to navigate in this COVID landscape that we're all trying to work through right now. So because of these things, we're not going to do university-sponsored spring travel. And things are starting to open up slowly but surely. And as a vaccine becomes available, hopefully soon, things will begin to open up more, assuming that people actually get vaccinated and continue to take the precautions with COVID seriously. But right now, there's just no way that you guys could actually plan an in-person study abroad journey for spring. And I know that's not what anyone wants to hear, but there's hope. There's still things that we can do, and it's more important than ever for you guys especially, but for all of us at Milliken to keep pushing and to keep having those global experiences, even if it's in a virtual situation for now, because that's better than nothing. Angela, were you wanting to say something? I can see that your box is highlighted, but I don't know why.
Oh, no, I'm not sure why it's highlighted, sorry.
No. So what I really want to talk about then is, oh, I'm sorry, your options for collaborating this spring or in the J term, considering that you're not going to physically be able to travel. And I also will mention that summer still looks promising as far as at least some options for travel, I hope. I don't want to get your hopes way up, but I do think that there might be something available for summer that is a good option. But for now, I think virtual study abroad is the next best thing, and it's a great way for you to ease yourself into study abroad. If you haven't ever traveled abroad before, or you haven't lived in another country or worked with a lot of people from very diverse backgrounds, then doing a virtual study abroad option is going to be great for you to start that journey. So it's also cost effective because you're not having to buy a plane ticket, go to visa appointments, which can be very costly. Finding a place to live, obviously in Paris or something like that, is going to cost you a lot more money. And in this situation, you're paying your same Millikan tuition. There might be like a small program fee associated with it, but you're getting classes already that you would be taking here on campus in a global type of setting. And you're doing it with people from different countries that are functioning in an education system that works differently than ours here in the US. So you're still getting a lot of experience and good skills that you're going to need after graduation and that you can use really as an investment in your education without the actual travel piece. And of course, that's not ideal, but like I said, it's something. So you get to meet new people. I'm sure, how many of you guys have at least some online classes, if not all online classes right now? All of you, I assume? Yeah, everyone's classes are online, at least somewhat. Yeah, sure, at least all of yours are online. Yeah, exactly. So if you're going to be sitting here staring at a screen anyway all day, you could at least mix it up and not do it with the same 20 kids or the same 3 professors. Not that your professors aren't a great tool for you to build your network here at Millikan, but we have 50 international partners that want to incorporate you into their classes as well. And then you're building these connections, you're meeting new people, and maybe after all of this COVID stuff has settled down and borders are opening back up, you have a person that you can actually go meet, a place to stay, or someone to have lunch with whenever you do actually get the opportunity to travel to that new country. And like I said before, you're still earning credit towards your regular Millikan degree. You still have the same scholarship opportunities that you had before. So one of the big ones is the Gilman Foundation Scholarship that is issued by the US State Department, and they are still making these scholarships up to $5,000 available for students, even those students that are deciding to do virtual study abroad, because it is so important even now with borders closed and things like that. It's more important than ever for you guys to still have those interactions with people from different perspectives and different countries and backgrounds and cultures. That experience is still needed, and we don't want you guys to go a year without having that sort of interaction. Do you guys have questions so far? So Charlize, you're not the first person to ask about LV, and the process for LV is changing right now. And I don't think that they have a like a set in stone guideline as far as virtual study abroad. So I have it on my list before our scholarship workshop that we have on Friday at 1. Before that scholarship workshop, I will have an updated information about LV. So thank you for that question, because I'm not totally sure. So if you're feeling like virtual study abroad might be a path that you want to take, which I hope that it is, there are obviously things you can do to learn more. And one of them is to come to our session on Wednesday at noon to talk to one of our current Millikan students who is participating in a virtual study abroad through our partners in Santiago, Chile at the University of de los Andes. And she's loving it. She's having a lot of great interaction and building good connections and learning a lot. So we're going to talk with her more about how she went through that process, what she did, and how it's going. And then also, if you are a professor or a faculty member, Millikan has all of these partners that we want to build what we call COIL programs. It's called Collaborative Online International Learning. And basically the university in, say, the Czech Republic or Australia or Germany or Mexico or wherever works with a professor at Millikan in order to build a class that is collaborative cross-culturally. Students can work in groups, they can do projects together in order to learn from each other, obviously meet each other and have some of that democratic citizenship in a global environment that we promise to all of our students. So any faculty that are interested in developing those programs should contact me. I would love to sit down and help you start building those connections and making those classes happen and available for students. Then obviously Jessie Embry, our amazing IB intern, has been working up a comprehensive list of all of the universities that Millikan partners with that are offering some sort of virtual exchange opportunity to students for spring. And you can come to the CIE or email us or check the website and get the list and do your own research and figure out where do you want to explore more of these opportunities. So I was going over this yesterday and I realized that I made this slide maybe more for myself than anyone else, but I do think it's an important reminder for everyone that things will go back to some form of normalcy eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later. So if you're just beginning your study abroad, exploration at Millikan, then don't give up hope that you're going to be able, that you're not going to be able to travel. I think that you will. If you are a junior or senior and you're worried that you're not going to be able to physically go abroad, then the virtual study abroad, again, is really the path that I would encourage you to take, because obviously you're here because you want to have those connections and do some sort of immersive experience with people from other countries. And this, even though it's not, walking in Paris, it is better than nothing at all, I think. And again, they're more cost effective, so it's not like you're having to fork out $10,000 to do a virtual study abroad program, and it's not going to slow you down for graduation. There's really only benefits that can come from exploring this route. So I will let you guys, I'll open it up for questions because I'm supposed to stop talking and let you guys talk now and ask me whatever you think or want to know, or yeah, so let's talk about it. And if you're not sure what your questions are right now, because you're just like, this is a lot, I don't know, you can always contact me. My contact information is there, and I'm happy always to meet and kind of walk you through your steps. That's why I'm here. You're not ever going to have to figure this stuff out alone. I'm always going to walk you through it, and it may be the first time for me doing this as well, and we can learn together. So what kind of questions do you guys have?
Hi. Thanks for bringing up that point about the new list of spring partners who are considering doing online learning next semester, because my biggest concern is figuring out which of our partners will be offering online classes. I know De Los Andes, for instance, would normally never offer classes online, and they will not be offering classes online next semester as far as I know. So I just think we'll have to really do some digging to figure out who indeed is offering online classes or even or a hybrid model. So I worry about that because I know some universities may be like, oh, we won't know if we're going to be offering online classes until, December or January based on the current conditions.
That's exactly right. And it's a concern that I have as well. Because yeah, you're exactly right that because everything is changing so quickly, people are kind of pausing in their decision making altogether. And it's making it very difficult for anyone to plan anything. And so, Jesse, what do you think right now is the number of schools that we have that are definitely offering spring um, uh, online?
So I don't have the exact numbers on me, but I would say no less than 11,
Yeah.
and no more than 30. I think I'm sitting at like 21 or 22 if you don't count Webster, but Webster has 5 or 6 themselves.
Right. And so, of course, those don't all offer the same majors, but luckily with IB, we have a lot of options. So, well, do you want to list, Angela, like
Yes, please.
IB? Yeah, we will.
And I will look into that myself as well, and just to see which of these partner universities would offer curriculum and courses that are relevant to what I need in order to graduate.
Perfect. I'm just going to make a note.
Thank you.
So on that, from what we have seen so far, and like we've all been talking about, this has changed pretty rapidly and has been changing a lot. But as far as curriculum and courses go, there's been no changes from institutions. If they offered it before COVID, they're offering it now. It's just how they're offering it.
Okay.
And a lot of institutions are doing virtual. The harder thing for me to find has been if Millikan students can do the virtual abroad while here in the US. Because there are some institutions that are doing virtual or hybrid, but they want you in country for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been most of my research, is differentiating the two.
And we're getting more information now that the semester is really underway. In Europe, it's back in, they're teaching, and, they start a little later than we do. And so now that they're in session, they're sending a lot of information. So it is changing. But I think we should have good options well before advising day. I know that's really when I would like for students to have made decisions about spring study abroad, is by advising day or before advising day. So we'll definitely have good information before then. And again, we've got these sessions all week long coming up, and many of them are going to be talking about in-person study abroad, maybe for fall or summer or, in the future. But you can always ask them in these sessions, if it's a school that you're interested in, what courses are available online, because the US is having so much difficulty traveling, especially to Europe. What are my options? And all of them are going to be, I think, more than willing to give you a good answer for that. What other we probably have time for one more question before we'll switch to our next session, which is EUFH in Germany, and they're going to talk about their exchange program. So what other questions about study abroad or COVID?
I just have a quick question, and it's regarding the fellowship scholarships. Now that next semester is going to be all virtual, will you still be allowing these scholarships, or will the committee not be doing them?
So great question. The committee will meet to talk about scholarships. We will be selecting scholarship recipients this semester for virtual study abroad. So I talked with alumni development. I was a little bit worried. I wasn't sure how they were going to react to that, but I was able to make the case, and they are going to accept scholarships for virtual study abroad. So you will
Awesome.
have a idea of program cost. Obviously, they're going to base it off of the cost of your program.
Awesome.
Okay, well, thank you guys.